Hey, what's going on, guys? Johnny the House Buyer here. Today we are going to do a tutorial on how to get free leads, how to get free real estate leads from public records. Now, I've done a couple of these before. I've done one for Denton County, Texas, and some other counties, maybe that one. But I keep getting this request for Dallas County. A lot of people in Dallas, and you can do this in other counties, but let me do my disclaimers. All counties are different. I can't go through every county and teach you how to do this. All counties may not have this information on their site for you to download, but the bigger ones probably maybe will. So I'm just going to go over this and in Dallas. And and it's the same concept for every county. If they do have it online, same kind of thing. All we're doing is we're extracting records, we're massaging some data, we're doing some data cleanup, and we're getting a absentee. I guess I should have said that before. So today we're getting an absentee owner list. What is an absentee owner list? Absentee owner list is someone who does not live in the house, probably renting the house, and who does not live in the house. Obviously, you can't live in there and rent it, right? Well, I guess you could, but house hacking, that kind of thing. But in this case, we're looking for people who own a house who do not live in a house, also known as absentee owners. So like I said before, all the counties are different. If you ask me, hey, can you do this for this county? Can you do this for this county? Probably not. I always try and help you guys out, but the concept, I want you to understand the concept is kind of the same, right? So, but I've got a lot of requests for Dallas County since that's the county that I am close to. I do the 4 counties in Texas. I do Dallas, Denton, Collin, and Tarrant, right? So, those are some big counties, lots of competition, so we want to get an edge up on everybody. Yes, you could go buy a list, and I do suggest if you got the money to do it, maybe buy a list, a good reputable company. I'll put a link up here, is Propelio. If you are in the Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Houston, Miami, Phoenix, Chicago, and you want to buy lists, I would suggest that I'll put a link up here, or you can, if you're listening to this, johnnythehousebuyer.com/leads. johnnythehousebuyer.com/leads. And the difference between building your own list and getting leads from a provider is that the list that you get from the county, it's not always up to date, right? This list here is downloaded once a year, maybe twice a year, I'm not sure. So you might get people calls from the owner saying, "Hey man, I sold my house last month. What are you selling? What are you sending me these letters for?" So that's the kind of thing. This company that Propelio, they get leads fresh every day. They get probate leads. They get absentee owner leads. They get other kind of leads. I'm not trying to hard sell you this, but I just want you to know it is something that may be an option for you if you want to just simply buy leads. And not only leads, but they do like MLS, comps, that kind of thing. But if you're interested in that, follow the link above. But for this exercise, we are going to create our own leads. If you don't want to buy leads, that's cool. I will show you step by step on how to get your own leads from county records. Okay, so I think I got all my, another thing that you need is Excel. And Excel, can you do this in other platforms, Google Docs, Open Office, that kind of thing? The answer is maybe, probably, I don't know. I'm used to Microsoft Office. I've been using it all my life. Excel is my go-to program. You might be able to get away with it doing other things, but I would highly recommend Excel. And if you don't have Excel, of course, you can go up to and get the whole Office suite, johnnythehousebuyer.com/office, and I'll put a link up there. Those two links I put up there, yes, I'm affiliate. I do get a little bit of commission if you buy through my link, so that's a great way to support this channel. I would appreciate it, and but that's not the main purpose of that. But definitely, I would suggest getting Excel. But of course, and if you ask me, hey, how do you do this in Google Docs? I won't be able to answer because I don't use that. But there have been people who have been able to do this. I have talked to people that have been able to do this in Google Docs. So I guess it is possible, but I wouldn't be able to give you step-by-step instructions. Okay, so those are all the things up front. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and by the way, this is for all the guys in Dallas that are getting their own lists, all the guys and gals. Chloe in particular, shout out to you. We've been talking on the Facebook Messenger, and this for everybody else in Dallas and everybody else around the country that wants to get lists. I appreciate your comments, I really do, and thanks for commenting. I try to answer everybody, so let's go ahead. I know this is a long intro, but I need to get all this stuff out. If I don't answer all your comments about how do I do it this way, what county is this, how can I do it in this county, that's the reason why, okay? I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So, Dallas County. And for whatever county, the biggest question I get is, how do I find this in my county? So, the appraisal district is where you would go. So if you're in whatever county you're in, so go to Google and type in Dallas County and put your name of your county, appraisal district, right? Appraisal district. Okay, it will come in here, and make sure you get the one that is org or CAD or the name of your county. You might get ads in here for like different things, you know. People try to sell you people put ads in there and try to get you to click on them to go to different things, but what we're looking for is the ones from your actual county. Okay, so Dallas County. Okay, this is the Dallas Central Appraisal District. So we are going to you can always type in the address one by one, but we want to do this in bulk, right? We want a list of things to do. Okay, so let me show you what it will end up looking like first. Well, let's look and see where you can find them. So for Dallas County, go to Data Products, and for your county, it's probably something similar, data, you know, download data or something like that. You can look at the one in Fort Worth that I did. It's a little bit different, but you want the appraisal data. Okay, so here's the 2019 data. If you click in here, it's going to download zip file that contains all this data. Okay, and I've already done that, so I don't need to do it again. Cancel. Okay, I will show you what it looks like. So here is the download right here, the download file. Inside this zip file for Dallas, and maybe, you know, like I keep saying, every county is different, so it might not look like this in your county, but just follow along, and it could be similar. What we're looking for is we're looking for a data dictionary. So not that one. Okay, it could be that one. The data dictionary tells you what files are for what purpose. Okay, so for example, you can see it's got you can see land, commercial. So it's the the data in these counties are a treasure trove, and that's kind of where these aggregators of data are getting this data. So you're going straight to the source. So what we're looking for is the account info contains for each appraisal county, contains auxiliary data for each appraisal county. Okay, so let us look at, also there's a couple other help files here, README, tables and field names. Okay, so if you're looking for tables and they give a text file and an Excel file, so open this up. So they give you the table and the field names. So appraisal year gives you table containing important value, account info, table containing owner, physical address, and legal information for the account. This is the one we want, account info, because it has owner address. Remember at the beginning we said we're comparing the owner address to the street address. Where does the owner live now? What is the property of the address? We're going to compare the two. If they don't match, we've got an absentee owner. Slick, huh? I think that's kind of slick, but whatever. So account info right there. So let us look. This account info here, it's 330 megabytes. It is a huge file. So copy this off. It's in the zip file, so copy this off into a place where you have space for that. So I put my data in where did I put my data in? This is where I put my data. So it comes in as a big file, right? This is what the file looks like, and I'll open that up for you. So once you download the file, you copy the one account info file somewhere else out of the zip directory, out of the zip file, because you don't want to work on it directly from the zip file. I guess you could, but that's not the way I do it. It takes a while to open because, like I said, I mentioned it's a huge file. And while we're waiting on that, there is a other list service called ListSource. I could talk about that later, but they do good lists if you want to buy them. But we're talking more about doing it yourself. And this won't take as long. You know, you see this video and say, oh, however long this video is, it's an hour-long video. This is going to take me an hour every day. No, it's not going to take you. This probably should take you like 10 or 15 minutes once you get the hang of it. Okay, so get in the file. Control A to select all of the data. Insert a table. Make sure my table has headers is checked. Click OK. There you have a readable format. You want to do a couple things. So let's look at division. You want to filter this out because it has 837,271 records. So you definitely want to condense this into a manageable record set. Our ultimate goal is, like I said, to find owners that live out of the house. So let's first say that we want residential properties. Okay. What I want is residential properties. So I'm going to go look into this handy-dandy tables and file names that we looked at before. So the division code determines if it's residential, commercial, or business property. Let us go. I don't want commercial property, but that might be a good one for you to think about. Keep in the back of your mind for later. Residential. Let's do residential. I want residential. So we are going to filter, click the little drop down, filter residential, bam. So we go from 837 to 657. There you go. Try to mail all those out. Nah, just kidding. Don't really need the account number. I'm going to hide some of these fields. Appraisal year will always be 2019, the latest year. You only want to get the latest year, okay? So I'm going to hide this here, because already filtered out business name. I don't think that's very valuable. There might be one. You can keep it, but for now we're going to hide it. Let's see here. So we got an owner name. Okay, we got an owner name. Unfortunately, the name that we send will be like this, last name, first name, but you know, we send out mail the way it is. If you're fancy at Excel, you can find a way to strip out the first name, change it to first name, last name, that kind of thing. Exclude owner, don't know what that means. What does that mean? Exclude owner means flag to show if account is private or not. Don't know what that means, so we're going to hide that. So we've got the owner address, line 1, Hamilton Cathay, which this is not the owner address line 1. So why is it saying owner address line 1? So that's a good point. The data at your county could have a little bit of weirdness to it. So expect weirdness, expect inconsistencies, expect different things. So in this case, owner address line 1, it just and owner information, anything that says owner address info. Okay, so what am I talking about? Owner address line 1. This is not an address. This is the name of Coleman, Brian P. and Hamilton Cathay. This could be an address. Yep, that is address. Morrison Brandon and Morrison Michael. So this looks like owner name 2, except for that. But let's scroll down. Walter James, Renee, and Sweets Trivia. Okay, so this looks like, look at this. This is a name. These are all names. Almost all these are names. Okay. Could be addresses too. So it looks like this field is used as a combination of things. So most likely it's names. And if it's not names, that's okay, because we are not going to use this for mailing purposes. So we're going to say that this is, we're going to keep in the back of our minds that this is actually the name. So when we send out mail, we're going to send it to the owner, right? So Mendoza, Julio Garcia, and Gonzalez Patricia Estrada. This is who we're going to send it out to. So let's call this, even though there are other addresses here, for me, most of these entries in this field are names. So I'm going to call this owner address. First of all, I'm going to look here. So it's important for us to look at the data. Owner name 2. It looks like they didn't put anything, right? Owner name 2. They did not put anything. So it's blank. They're all blank. So I'm just going to delete this field. Not even hide it. There's nothing in here, so I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to call this field owner name 2. Because to me, besides this one, and besides a couple, these are all mostly, you know, I see apartments, I see units and stuff, but mostly names. It's really a mix, okay? So, but the thing to remember is we're not going to use this as the address, because look at this. Number 1156, it's in this one. So I'm calling this name. You can do however you want. Use your own judgment, but for me, I'm thinking this is the name. Anyways, not that important. Let's not get hung up on there. Owner address line 3, there's nothing. I'm going to delete that. So right now is the cleanup phase, right? We're going to delete stuff that we don't need, blanks. If the field is blank, delete it, because we want to see a condensed version. Me anyway. That's how I want to see it. Let's see here. So street half known. What is that? Blank. Okay, don't need that. Okay, so street full name, that makes sense. Building ID. So okay, so going back to the owner information. This information that says owner, that is the owner information. Duh. That's where the owner lives. So the owner, we're looking for owners that live not in the property address. Okay. Sounds weird. Okay. But so now we're past the owner information. We're into the property information. So the street name, street full name, 8654 Santa Clara. That's the address of the property. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, hey, which one of these properties does the owner not live in, right? So that is the main goal. So going down here, you'll see most of the owners live there. Most of the owners live there. Most of the owners, but we can't. Okay, here's one. This owner lives in Inwood Road in Dallas, Texas, but his house is this address, Kilbourne. So that's a good candidate. We want to filter all of these that are like this to get absentee owners. Now, obviously, you're not going to go through 657,834 records and pick each one individually. That would take you 10 years, right? So we're going to do this programmatically. We're going to do this in a smart way, right, to get a good list. So let us first say, so for building, if the property address has a building or a unit, I'm going to assume it's an apartment. I don't care. I don't want those. So I am going to, I only want the ones that are blanks. That cuts it down 624,000. On unit ID, same thing. I only want the blank ones. I don't care if the, I mean, it could be a duplex maybe. But I'm looking for single family residences right now. So let's look at that. City, zip, good. MAPSCO, neighborhood code, legal address, maybe we need, so I'm not going to delete it, but I'm going to hide them. Transfer date, that's serious, we need to keep that. Parcel ID, I don't think so. Let's see here. I'm going to hide it just in case. Phone number, that would be really nice to have, but it's not used. So that data is phone number, not available and not used. LMA, land market identifier for commercial only. IMA, commercial only. So I am going to, you're like, oh, wait a minute, there are some phone numbers here. Let's look and see. If you want to look and see what that is, it's one record, really doesn't matter. Owner name doesn't have, so it looks like we don't care. Clear the filter. So in the documentation it said they don't use it, so we will not use it. We're going to remove these three fields and delete. Okay, so let's hammer this down a little bit. We have hidden or deleted fields that we don't need. So we have now, we still have not filtered out the absentee owners, have we? No, we have not. So but we're doing a little bit of filtering on different things. So for me, if the owner lives in America, I'll send him a letter saying, hey, I want to buy your, I'm looking at buying your house. I'm looking at buying houses in your area. You know, if you're interested in selling, please give me a call. So if you want to, though, you could send out, and not many people do, so maybe you got the jump up on everybody, but I don't. Not many people do. It's up to you. If they live in United Kingdom, Thailand, Spain, South Korea, there are a lot of investors that if they got a letter from you, they'd be like, wow, this guy's really serious. But it costs more money to send out, so test it out. See if it's worth it for you or not. But for this exercise and for my case, I only want owners who live in America. Okay, so that gets us down to 599,000, guys. Wow, we're really getting down in there, huh? So let's do the actual stripping for. Let's do the actual finding. I'm gonna hide this. Let's do the actual finding of the absentee owners. How are we going to find out quickly and effectively as possible which of these 599,944 records are really absentee owners? Okay, so we want to look at the address of the owner. We don't really care about city or state. We care about the address, line 2, and you know what, I'm going to call it, this is not line 2. We got rid of that line 2. I'm just going to call this owner address, right, just to make things simple. We're going to look at the owner address and the owner zip code. Okay, and you can strip these to the 5-digit zip codes. That might be better if you're Excel savvy person. But I'm just going to leave it like this for this exercise because I don't want this recording's already 30 minutes. So I don't want it too long. So we're going to compare. What are we comparing? The owner address, the owner zip, right? That's the two pieces we need. Compared to the property street number, street name, and the zip code. Okay, so how do we do that? First, we are going to create us a new field. So I'm going to create a new field, insert a new field, called owner full address. Something like that. You don't have to call it that, but you could. So I'm going to say that, I'm going to click in this first cell here. I'm going to say that equals the owner address. Use the ampersand or the and sign. I'm going to put a space in there, which is double quote, space, double quote, and I'm going to put the zip code. Hit enter, and you should get a combination 8654 Santa Clara Drive and the zip code. Good. That is the owner full address. We will do the same thing with the property full address, right? And let me hide this country since we have filtered out the country. Wow, that's running pretty good, huh? Dang. Okay. Springtime in Texas, guys. We just had some hail, getting some massive rain. Okay. Anyways, we are going to insert a, let me make sure, unhide. We are going to insert, right after property zip code, we are going to insert a field called property full, if I can spell full address. And you know what? We are going to save this right now. Make sure you save as a Excel file, Excel workbook, and put it in the directory that you want, right? I'm going to call that account info mailers. Okay. Make sure you save periodically. I should be saving more often than this, but you want to make sure you save your work. So computer crashes, you don't have to do this all over again. It is saving. You can see down here it's saving account mailers. It takes a while to save. Your computer may flicker, so I'm glad I showed you this. Wait until it's done saving, and we can keep going. Okay. So we're doing the property full address. What that will be is you click in a cell, put the equals. We're going to do street num for this case, space and a space and full street name and space and the zip code. Okay, and we're going to hit enter. That should populate 8654 Santa Clara Drive. Okay, that's good. Owner full address that we put in. Let's compare. Owner full address. Owner full address to property full address. Okay, pretty good. So I'm going to hide these. Again, these maps codes, they might come in handy for you, but not right now. I'm going to hide those. So it is starting to come along. So now that we have the two important fields, right? Owner full address and property full address. So we're going to compare the two. We are going to do the comparison. Is this an absentee owner? Yes or no? This is the field we are going to create. Okay, so I am going to insert a field called absentee owner. So we're getting there, guys. Appreciate your patience. Appreciate your patience. But this is the stuff that we got to do if we want to do it ourselves. Absentee owner. Okay, so we're going to say, click in this box here, we're going to say equals, and we're going to say if, open parentheses. This is a logical test, so the logical test is if, and then we're going to click over here, owner full address, right? Click on this right there. If the owner full address, and you'll see it populate right there, equals, and then put equals. If it equals the property full address, comma, so this is the important part right here, comma, we're going to say no, because if the owner address equals a property address, it is not an absentee owner, right? Okay, comma, okay, if the value is false, what are we going to say? We're going to say yes, it is, and then put that in quotes and put that in the parentheses and say enter. So bam, there you go. Lots of no's, lots of yeses. Okay. So that was the trick right there. So if you didn't get that, rewind and look at that. So absentee owners, I want yes. Yes, absentee owners. All right. So look, 200,001 records, 201,263 records. Go mail all these out. No, you don't do that. Okay. So the way you filter now depends on you. I'll show you the way I filter, but you can do it many different ways. One way that I like to do it is this deed transfer date. What that means is when did the deed get transferred, meaning when did it get sold, right? So I want to find houses that have not been sold in the past 10 years. Okay, so I'm going to say so maybe an equity list, right? So they have built up equity, right? I'm going to say date filters less than before let's see here. So right now it's April 13th, 2019, right? So I'm going to say before April 13th, 2009. So that's 10 years. April, April 13th, 2009. Will that work? Okay. So that gives you 10 years of equity built up, right? So now we're getting closer to a manageable list that we can mail out. And like I said, you don't have to use 10 years, you can use 5 years, you can use 15, 20 years, whatever, to have real good equity, right? So we've got 77,000. Still don't want to mail those out, do we? No, we don't. That's a waste of money. Unless you've got a super big budget, unless you're a big old hedge fund, which I doubt, you wouldn't be watching me. So how would you filter this out? You could do a couple different ways, right? You can say, the way I say it is, hey, yes, these guys are all absentee owners, but if they're living down the street from that's what we save. So if they're living right down the street from their house, then most likely owner address, property address. So if they're probably in the same city, if they're in the same zip code, you know, they're probably keeping a good eye on their house. Maybe if they're in the same city, if they're in the same state, how about that? So maybe we want to target out of state landlords. That's a good one. I like that. Okay, so the owner, you would pick every state, and I don't know what AE is, maybe a military thing, out of Texas. So uncheck Texas. Boom. Look at that. 3,500 records. This is probably your base data set. No, you're not going to be sending mailers out to 3,500 people. But this right here is probably your base data set, okay? This is what you would work with for the year or so. But you want to systematically identify which areas that you're going to target. Excuse me. So let this save once. So you can do it a couple different ways, right? You can say, oh, look at this. So the owners, tangent, yeah, the owners, a lot of owners from California, huh? California, I see a lot of Hawaii. So a lot of people out of state managing Texas rentals. How about that? That's what we learned today. So what was I saying? I was saying, so to manage these properties, you might want to find properties that are close to you, right? So go to Property City. If I want to do, I used to live in the DeSoto, Cedar Hill, Glen Heights area. So I'm going to do Cedar Hill, DeSoto, and you can pick yours, whichever one you want. Then play around with it and see. DeSoto, Duncanville, Glen Heights, maybe Grand Prairie, let's see. Lancaster maybe. But you can pick, you know, if you're in Louisville, pick Louisville, whatever. The point is you want to target your area, right? 418 records. I think I've got a good data set. If you want more, keep filtering. If you want less, if you want more, unfilter some. If you want less, filter more, right? Depending on the mailers amounts that you want to sell, that you want to send. This is a good data set for me. That's where I used to live. Let me see if I want to work in the. Now I want to clear that. and let's say that I want to work closer to where I live now. So let's say Louisville. What we got for Louisville? Oh, Louisville. You know why there's not Louisville? Because most of Louisville is in Denton County. So, but this is for Dallas County. So, for the Dallas County, the University Park, the rich people, Saxe. Okay, Saxe right now is pretty good. Mesquite. What is it? Garland. Oh, Garland. Garland probably by itself would be good. 666. Not my favorite number, but you know, well, we can that freaks you out. Filter something else. If not, we'll go with that, huh? Well, I'm not going with that. I'm gonna go with maybe Richardson as well. So, you know, you can 788. That's better. Okay. So, depending on the volume that you want to send out, this is your mailing list here. You have just got people who live out of the state who own property in those cities, right? So that's how you build a absentee owner out of state mailing list for you. Bam. Do that. You got your big list. Good job. There's many different ways to do this, right? There's many different ways to find lists. Like I said, you can filter here. You can filter down to the particular. Remember how we hid those columns? You can filter down to the particular neighborhood, right? Or the maps go. You say, hey, I've got a maps go. I only want to do 10T, 16B, 16, whatever. So you can filter that out, right? I mean, you can filter out wherever you feel like working, wherever area you want to work. That's how you filter that out, right? So hide those because these are I'm going to mail to these people, and like I said. You can use your own CRM. I use Podio. I also would recommend the what did I say before? So we got a little bit of time left. So let's take a look at the Johnny, not the beer guy. If you want to drink beer with me, go to johnnybeerguy.com, but not for this video. johnnythehousebuyer.com/ leads for the Propelio. You get a 7-day trial. Like I said, if you're in the DFW, San Antonio, Houston, Miami, St. Louis, Phoenix, or Chicago, this is probably the best lead source for you. They've got, you can make websites, you can make leads, you got the comps. It starts at $50 or so, goes up to $100 a month. Marketing and websites, lead capture. So this gives you leads if you want to start off $50 a month or not, whatever. But I'll leave a link up here or in the description below, johnnythehousebuyer.com/leads. But like I said, do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, I just showed you how to do it. Rock on. You got any questions? Leave a comment below. I think that I've given you some good value here, so give me a like, please. It really does help. Comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for more for all my videos. And as always, be a light. Speak truth, change lives, and I wish you much success in your business and in life. Peace out. Hopefully you got this list down. If not, ask me questions. Peace.